Ritristo here. I like to wander around, and this shining metropolis is Mengcheng. It's northwestern Changzhou, Xinbei district. Very close to the city of Yanzhong, which is part of Xinjiang. I'm here looking for a Ming Dynasty wall. Maybe I'll find it, maybe I won't. Baidu Maps had one location, A Maps had another, so we'll see. Well, another question that people might ask is, how the hell did I end up in this bit of boondocks? Well, I took a K3 bus from a stop near my home in Mengcheng, which I did in an earlier video, or I mentioned in an earlier video. So the K3 bus, I think it took an hour and a half to go 22 miles, no, 22 kilometers, that is, from where I live in Xinbei to this remote corner of Xinbei. Well, looks like I found it. Not that garbage, though. Right here, this tiny section of wall. So this has been here since the Ming Dynasty. I think it's the northernmost gate. Old gate or defense wall in Changzhou. I don't know what this is, but I first learned about this because the Xinbei government's been posting these tourist maps, and I were to point out where on this map, let's see. Around here is where I live. Alright, so you see this right here. This is Shinshu Gongyuan, Shinshu Park Station. That's my subway stop. My my apartment complex is there. Zoom out a bit. And I am currently here. And that's the wall. So you see off in the distance the Christian church. That's where a different map app sent me. And sent me wandering in circles over there when this wall is on the other side of this canal. There's not much fanfare about this other than being a wall. I don't think you can get on top of it. There's a former residence that's not open to the public, so I don't know what famous person actually lived there. This door is locked. And here's where the wall is broken off. So no, you can't get on top of the wall. Alright. Interesting to say, though, that I spent an hour and a half to 2 hours to basically see a tiny wall. However, there's other stuff in Mengcheng, like former residence. Let's look at the map again. So I guess my next aim, so I just saw that. My next aim, no. That's, this is this, and it's closed. But there's another former residence out here, and I think I'm going to go see if I can hunt that one down. Whoever lived here decently sized complex for northwestern, middle of nowhere Changzhou. Well, this is the former residence of Dingan Run. Unfortunate for me, it looks very closed. I'm not sure why. This is Mudi, which is grave or tomb. So it could be closed for that reason, but why would a tomb need a satellite dish? Well, anyway, let's see if I can get a picture through the door. Not very promising. Normally I would walk around to see if there was another way in, but seriously, this is on one of the main drags with bus stops back to downtown Xinbei or Changzhou North Station. So, I don't know, I guess I gotta throw in the towel on this. I would say this part of town's quaint, but this is private farmland. Yeah, no, I'm not going to bother. Let's see if we can get a little bit of the traditional rooftop. I'm filming this with the Osmo Pocket, and which doesn't fit into my cell phone's selfie stick. So maybe I could switch to yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna switch to my phone and see if I can get a shot over the door, and then I'm gonna call this spot a day. Okay, I've switched to my phone now, so I'm going to see if I can get a shot over this door. Well, you know, the over-the-door shot didn't manage much. Just a bunch of trees and a door. As you can get a better look at the traditional architecture from across the road. Alright, so here I'm back at the bus stop. I have two options of getting back to Xinbei, this is Xinbei, my part of Xinbei. So I took the K3 here. The other option is the 59. Both are 4RMB rides. This goes to Changzhou North Station, which is okay because that's a subway stop and I can get to my home from there, whereas this is closer to my home. And this goes to the train station downtown. And the 235 looks useless. To be honest, I think the last time I was out here I took the 59 and I walked to a graveyard, which is that hill in the distance. So the last thing I think I'm going to check out up here is a public park. Alrighty then. Okay, so this is kind of a shopping commercial street. I just passed their meat and veg, open meat and veg market. So I am currently seeking out a Buddhist temple. It's past 4 o'clock, so it's likely not going to be open. But I would be surprised if it's boarded up just like everything else in this town is. So, we'll see. Dude, angel bread. Looks kind of dead. There's one thing about historical preservation in China. Sometimes you have to knock stuff down to save it. This looks like an old building, but judging by the crumbly nature and the cinders that you see, the burnt wood, this is probably a home that caught on fire. But if you see the plant life growing in here, this place was likely destroyed a long time ago, and it's just been sitting here, you know, not tended to for a long time. Guanyin Temple, 300 meters. It's always funny how these signs make the temple look like a scary screaming face. I need to get off this road. It's surprisingly busy. So 300 meters down this road, I should find a temple dedicated to Guanyin. Guanyin is the goddess of mercy in both Taoism and Buddhism. Possibly even Chinese folk religion, which predates both of those. Some like to call her the Taoist or Buddhist Virgin Mary, just because she's a revered divine figure of compassion. I think I see it off in the distance. This isn't really my first time walking down a strange, desolate road trying to find a temple. Odds are it's going to be closed. Okay, how do you know you're in small town China? Well, public fires, burning stuff. They used to do this in bad neighborhoods in Changzhou, but I think the government cracked down on it. Here, out in the middle of nowhere, so who's gonna care? Okay, so here we're at Guanyin Temple. I don't know if it's open to the public or not. Not sure who these people are. They could be city gods or local deities. I don't know. Yeah, no, this looks very closed to the public. My guess is that this is Buddhist because I don't see any yin and yang symbols. But as I was saying earlier, Guanyin is considered the goddess of mercy. Typically, she's usually holding a water vial and normally like a sprig of plant like lotus or something. People do come here to pray, it seems, because the incense sticks here Some of them look pretty fresh. Okay. I think I need to make my way back to a bus station. Last buses are out of here at like around 6:30 or so. And I have like about an hour and a half. And I don't want to be stuck out here and have to call Didi because Didi's a private car. Because that's going to be expensive if I get stuck. So it's just a kilometer back and through the way I came. So not really much else to see out here. I'm back by the fires again. The other thing is this. You know, it may sound like I'm dumping on Mengcheng in a way, but for me it's valuable to come to places like this. This is Changzhou, but it's also small town China. And a lot of the foreign community seems to take living in downtown Xinbei for granted. They claim Pokemon that it's not Shanghai. So, is this the park that I'm looking for? No, that's an elementary school. Yep, it's an elementary school. Oh. Alright, this seems to be a poem about this town, so I'm gonna have to take a picture of that and see if I can translate it. Still on the same road as before, but now I'm at their public park, and so I get the feeling I may have been here before. So we have an empty building. I didn't notice this last time. One of the things about China, I don't know if you could sit, let me see if I can get a closer shot. Older China is filled with some really funky architecture. Yeah, I have no idea what that says. 7 years in China, you think I would be able to fluently read Chinese by now. Looks like a political center over there, judging by the hammer and sickle. Some of this old architecture is really brutal. And I sort of have this idea that I need to start taking pictures of this stuff because China's now at a point where it's not building ugly looking buildings like this stuff anymore. It's, especially in urban China, it is more glass skyscraper. These buildings look like they're in use though. On the other side of this fence, there's a guy unloading, I think, what looks to be plywood on a truck. Alright, so that's building 2. That dismal building over there, this is probably just an old crumbly, on the other side of the park fence, an old crumbly industrial park. All right. Excuse me. I could walk on the other side of the park, but I don't see any reason to. I mean, these are probably bathrooms. That's something that you hardly ever see in small town China. An actual sit-down toilet next to a squatter. Well, there's, judging by what we see on the inside, I don't know if you can make through the dust. It seems to have, there seems to be a setup of the old city wall on the inside. But as you can see, very much locked and closed to the public. So that's probably about all that I'll ever get to make out of it. I mean, there's signage and calligraphy on the wall on the inside, but not really much else. All right. This is their public park. As far as I know, I think I've seen everything in this town I need to see. Tonight, a friend of mine, good friend of mine, is having a birthday, but that's at 8. I'm sure I can get back to my end of Xinbei by then. So, if you like to wander like I do, until next time, safe travels.